I spent 72 hours in the most dangerous place tourists can visit. Here's what happened. It was love at first sight when I saw this abandoned water park. I couldn't believe that just a few years ago, people were paying good money to go down these slides. Now it's just a crumbling ruin full of mosquitoes and broken glass. The locals told me that a gang war broke out in the city, and the water park got caught in the crossfire. I thought it would be a great place to document the urban decay, but I had no idea that it was going to become a survival challenge. The moment I stepped foot inside the park, I realized I was being watched. On the way to my car, I got surrounded by people who were desperate for food and water. I immediately locked the door and called my girlfriend to tell her that I loved her and that I'm sorry I never listened to her when she told me to be careful. The next morning, I woke up and called my mom. I told her that I didn't want to scare her, but I needed to tell somebody what happened. She told me to stay in the hotel room and that she would come to get me. They were so hungry that they were willing to do anything. I realized that I was lucky to get out alive. At first, I thought it was just some random dudes who were bored and had nothing better to do. But then I started hearing gunshots. I didn't know where they were coming from or if they were coming for me. On day 2, I met a man named Rambo who agreed to show me around the park. He warned me that there are people who are willing to do terrible things to survive, and I soon learned that he was one of those people. Some of it was pretty messed up, like this painting of George Floyd with the caption, "I can't breathe." I turned around and saw a group of armed men pointing their guns at me. Rambo quickly stepped in front of me and started yelling in Arabic. I have no idea what he said, but it must have been pretty convincing, because the men lowered their weapons and let us walk away. It made me think about how, even in a place that's completely destroyed, people still have the will to create art. While walking through the park, we saw a family of refugees who had set up camp in one of the abandoned buildings. Rambo said that they're not dangerous unless you provoke them. But he also said that they stole everything they have from the people who used to work here. At this point, I was feeling pretty uneasy, and I wanted to get out of there, but I had to document the graffiti inside the buildings. As I was taking photos, I heard someone yell, "Get out of here, foreigner." Getting out of there, I thought it was the scariest place I'd ever traveled. But then I realized that the danger was just outside the water park. When I finally got back to my hotel room, I was exhausted and traumatized. When I got back to the States, I learned that 3 people were killed in a gang-related shooting in that water park. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.